thing. Michael Davis has started public streaming. Hello, everyone.
All right. Yeah. Now we're live.
How's it going?
Hello, YouTube. Hello, Internet.
Welcome to the Repo Man Nihilitis release live stream. And we haven't streamed for over a year, so I'm glad you're all here. Go ahead and comment in the chat about where you are, where you're living, and let us know you're here checking it out.
I don't see the chat.
It's not on.
It isn't. Thought I set the chat to be on. Oh, it is. If you look at the, all right. Yep. It's out there. I just don't see it anywhere else. Got to go to the page to see it. So
yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Something's not on.
There we go.
It's chat. I'm gonna type something in the chat. I just said welcome everybody in the chat. Welcome to Repo Man.
I see that. That's cool. Yeah, that's. I've got it going on my other screen here. Anyway, welcome everyone. I see that we have 0 people watching, so that's.
We got 3. We have 3 people watching.
Oh, and their names are Brendon, Adrian, and Mike Davis, I guess. So.
Yeah.
So on that note, welcome to your introduction to the men of Repo Man. So my name is Brendon Bigelow, and I am the bass player. And up to my I guess I can't say that because you guys can't see the same thing I'm seeing. But also in attendance here is Adrian, our guitar player. Old friend of mine, and also another old friend of mine is our dear friend and singer Mike Davis.
I'm not as old as Adrian though, so
For some, when I said old, I mean we've known each other for a really long time. I wasn't actually talking about age. So yeah, welcome. Feel free to jump in the chat and tell us what you think about the new song, and especially tell us where you're from and what's going on with you. Anyway, getting on to the agenda here.
I still hear thunder here, by the way, so if my power goes out, then I guess the whole stream will stop.
So everyone just know that Mike is in like doomsday land, and if his power may go out, so just know that. I'm not going to tell you where he is, but I'm going to say he's in a place where there's some really bad weather, and so if his power goes out, the stream might shut down. So just know that.
It's Tornado Alley.
Yeah, you can tell them as much or as little as you want. I'm just not all about doxing you. Like, hey, here's Mike's address. I'm not going to do that.
Wow, I haven't been doxed before. That would be great.
Okay, everyone. So again, this is our first live stream since May of 2023. So, hit us up in the chat. Let us know what you want to know. And with that, I'm going to turn the floor over to Mike. Mike, what do you want to talk about in this live stream?
Well, since that last live stream, we've had a number of songs come out. I think my original idea was we could do a live stream for every release, but we haven't done that. It's been over a year, so we've actually had 4 songs come out, and the videos are available on YouTube. They're actually available everywhere. The first one came out in December, and that was called Some Such Thing. And then we did a Christmas song, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, that also came out that month.
Let's stop right there. Let's talk about Some Such Thing for a minute. So
Yeah.
that was it. That was a bit of a departure for us. We kind of broke new ground with that song, I think. Stylistically, I'll admit that when you sent me the demo of it, I was kind of like, this is kind of weird. Like, what? And of course, anyone that's watching, I'm sure, has heard it now. But I mean, it's kind of literally like a rock song with a rap over it. Like Mike's spitting a rap over it. So like, what? I'd love to. You and I have not talked about this separately, and I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about what got you into this idea of spitting a rap over a rock song like that. What?
I really like all the stuff that I've heard in that style. I mean, going back to the 80s with Anthrax and I don't know, was that Public Enemy and Rage Against the Machine and Snoop Dogg or something.
Yeah, I think that the earliest kind of incarnation of that style, I would say, was Anthrax with like songs like "I'm the Man," or then later they did collaborations with Public Enemy. But I would say that Rage Against the Machine is probably the most elegant kind of incarnation of it, where like you have an actual band playing the music. Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you've got the modern bands that are doing it too, like I guess Limp Bizkit, if you want to call them modern. They call it new metal. Very similar. So I mean, that's the kind of thing that I just really like that kind of style, and thought, well, why can't we do it?
Oh yeah, of course. And I think it turned out great. I really enjoyed during the breakdown. If to those of you at home watching, if you've heard the song, in the breakdown there's a bass line and then an octave bass line on top of it. And
you want to just play it?
Huh?
You want to just play the song?
Is it available on? Is there a?
There is a video, yes. It'd be easier to talk about it if I actually heard it, right?
No, I'm into it. I just want to. No, I'm into it. I just want to preface this by saying this one thing is just that Mike had come up with this idea of this breakdown in the middle of the song, and so me, the bass player, I had this idea. Well, I'm gonna do an octave thing where I'm playing the bass in the bass range, and then I'm playing the bass an octave higher. And then in the end, I ended up doing like 2 versions of the high part so that it would be super stereo. But anyway, the point is that when I was playing the song for other musician friends of mine, they all like perked up at that part. They were like, "Hey, how are you doing that bass octave thing? That's really cool." And and of course I would explain it to them. But so I'm really proud of this. Let me share this here, and we can listen to it. Okay, here goes.
Listen, I got a message for you, and it feels so right, you gotta know it rings true. I've been all around, and I found a sound, and I shouted out loud on the streets that I pound. I started out young with some plans and dreams, and I grew up strong, came apart at the seams. Now you come saying ain't no such thing, but the people I roll with know the message I bring. Some such thing, y'all. And it's some such thing, y'all. When you rise to rise. And it's some such thing, y'all. Got nothing to lose, but you never had a thought about paying your dues. There's a real world, Johnny, and I'm living it. And I don't expect anyone to be giving it. When you're getting a paycheck for the work that you do, it's a job, it's a passion, and it's one of the two. Can't be real if you steal and you're making a deal for the rest of your life, a hamster in a wheel. And it's some such thing, y'all. Oh, the world is real. And it's some such thing, y'all. When you rise to rise. And it's some such thing, y'all. Such thing, y'all. Let's find out who you are. Give up, damn. Let's find out who I am. Though I may be good, I'll never be a star. Let's find out what you are. Though you may just find you never give a damn. Let's find out what I am. Shit, I'll never be a star. douchebag, man, I'm a rhymer too. And the man with the hardcore brings it to you. See, there's some such thing as a real world, but I don't expect you to ever just give it a whirl. Now I'm giving it all for the passion I got, but I'm living a life that you must have forgot. Yeah, I'm living and giving just like it is my girl, but there's some such thing as a real world. Well, that is some such thing, y'all. That is some such thing, y'all. When you rise, that is some such thing, y'all. About the sound, you know about the sound. That is some such thing. That is some such thing, y'all. That is some such thing. That is some such thing, y'all. And there's a real world. That is some such thing. You must have forgot. It's the passion I got. There's a real world.
Cool.
Okay.
So I just want to be clear that
Was not the breakdown you're talking about.
no, the breakdown I'm talking about is in Nihilitis, and I was looking at the notes that I made to touch on in this chat, and I got ahead of myself, and I apologize. However, what I
Go ahead.
do want to say is that I just want to let everybody know, you know, there's no samples in there. Like that trumpet, that's Adrian playing trumpet. And all of that, you know, that scratchy stuff, that's Adrian playing guitar. It's pitch shifted, but it's, you know, it's Adrian playing.
So I wanted to ask about that. Is that an effect that you used, Adrian, or is that post-production type thing? Effects.
It was a patch on my processor. It's I guess it's kind of geared to be like a Steve Vai or Joe Satriani, like the saturator kind of sound. It kind of lifts an octave. It doesn't like throw them both together, but you can lift it and swell it with your foot pedal or expression pedal. And no, it was I went into the recording with that,
Cool.
And then there was
Brendon did all the magic afterwards.
Well, there was some, okay,
as far as placement goes.
So there's two things. Adrian did pitch shifting on his end, and then when he sent that to me, I then went crazy with pitch shifting it in stereo and doing all this crazy stuff. Like so, you know, and we even had a discussion where I'm just bringing this up to be completely transparent. We even had a discussion where Adrian was concerned that I wasn't using what he originally sent me, and so then I went back and did include some of what he had originally sent me, but I went crazy with that just because I thought that it really kind of was a great kind of an ape on the whole record scratching thing. Like I thought it sounded like what he sent me originally, I thought sounded like record scratching, and so I kind of went crazy with it, just for my own, even for my own joy, but
it's I think it adds a lot to the song, but one of the things about this song was maybe a little bit different than the other stuff that we've done since 2022, I guess, is when we started doing all this. is that what I sent you guys was very bare bones. I mean, it was just that rhythm guitar part and the vocal. And what it wound up being was just this amazing, you know, cacophony of wild stuff that just really emphasized, you know, what we were trying to do, I think.
Yeah, I think that for me, that where it really started to come together was when Adrian presented these trumpet tracks.
Yeah. So
Like
Adrian,
that,
what led you to want to do trumpet in this song?
That's what I heard, man. I think this is a song that when he first presented it to us, it kind of reminded me of the car wash downtown, the urban car wash, you know, where you wash your ass, you know, but you still get your car washed. And like 70s for some reason. But it fit, man. I heard it in my head. Listening to yours, that's how these songs work. You know, you present it, we listen to it, we get a couple ideas and add to it. And this one just stuck out to me from the very beginning. It just those finger snapping, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And then with everything else going on, this song covers every point of the compass, man. I mean, it even goes theatrical in some areas, you know, like a ending credits roll or something. You know, it just covers every piece of real estate to me, and that trumpet part is what seemed to fit in there, you know, throughout it for me, anyways. But
well, for me, the once I heard the trumpet part, like, so when I heard the original demo of the song, like I got, of course, I kind of formulated kind of what I would imagine it being. But once Adrian sent over the trumpet stuff, then it really started to, like, for me, it really started to like turn into something different. And I was like, wow, I hadn't thought of that. And that was when I came up with this idea that we talked about during production of the song. I came up with very early on, I came up with this idea that when we were going to do the big crescendo part of the song, I wanted that to end at the height of the song with the choir playing and the band just going forward as loud as possible. I wanted that to end with that da 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 da, and Adrian really deserves credit for that, because I mean he came up with what I believe is a kind of a crucial what's the word, like a moment in the song that I just think is like where the whole thing ties together. Like the whole thing gels when we have the choir and everything going, and then it breaks back down to da 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 da, and Adrian came up with that, and it was a great idea, and I love the sound of it in the song. So anyway, well done, Adrian. Great idea.
thank you.
And I don't know if anybody cares what I think, but I just thought that was genius, personally.
David Joshua is in the house. Hey.
How can you see that? Hey, man, wherever you are, Dave. Cool.
I'm gonna go over to the chat here and see that. Look at that, man! What a cool dude.
He is very cool.
I'm gonna give him a shout out here. I said, hey, with an exclamation mark. Anyway, really loved the trumpet stuff on that, and forgive me for referring to the breakdown in Nihilitis. That was
Yeah,
not,
I think
not
I think we all put a little extra into this song. I think it was very much a collaborative effort, and there's a lot of ingredients that went into the pot. So, and I think it turned out really well, but I'm biased, so.
Sure. Yeah, no, me too. And I guess more than anything, I just want to, I just, I just want to like be very clear about the fact that Adrian had such an enormous what's the word, stake in how the song came out. I mean, it's like he did the trumpet thing, which completely sent it in another direction, and then he did that amazing David Gilmour-esque lead, and a lot of the reason I bring this up is just that a lot of times we just work the stuff up and send it to Adrian, and he plays the lead on it, and that's it. But in this case, I think that I just really want to be clear about Adrian had so much to do with like how this song turned out, and I just think that's invaluable, and it needs to be said, it needs to be noted.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to talk about that this time. What do you say, Adrian?
Super fun song. Super fun song.
So after to the next one.
After that, we did You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, and this was something that I just kind of proposed. I demoed it, I sent it to the guys, and they were like, yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. And Mike gave me a vocal on it, and we
did Old Lang Syne the previous year.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of going in that, making it a holiday tradition.
Yeah. So the big thing is that previously I had presented to the band like, hey, why don't we do a holiday song? And that year it was like, why don't we do Auld Lang Syne? What the hell? And I demoed it, and I said, here it is. What do you guys think? And everybody was on board with it, and I got great stuff. Both, I got great material, great tracks from both Mike and Adrian, and we put it out, and it was great. So then, when it got to be, Christmas 2023, it was like I hadn't really considered it, but I said, hey, how about we do this? How about we do You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch? And I demoed it, and I sent it out, and they were on board with it. I got an amazing lead guitar track from Adrian, and I got a vocal from Mike, and I mixed it up, and I thought it was pretty cool. So
yeah, great arrangement there, Brendon.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that was really great. And then the next thing we did in March was Public Domain, which is, and all of these, by the way, are available on our YouTube channel. I don't know if You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch is available on Spotify.
It is. It is.
Oh, it is. It is available on Spotify. Yeah.
That's actually available everywhere. It came out on the December 16th, so we're going to probably keep it up until early December this year.
Cool. Yeah. So that's a thing. But because it's a cover, we have to pay a license fee on that, so that might come down at some point. But then the next thing was Public Domain. We did in March of 2024, and that is available everywhere and will continue to be available everywhere.
I think that's an interesting story, just because of how the original idea kind of progressed. I woke up one morning at 7 a.m. It's on a weekend. I don't know if, I guess it must have been a Saturday. And it was just in my head. This idea was in my head. Probably just the title and maybe some kind of some of it was in my head. And so I did nothing else that day but work on the song. And I worked on it until probably about 11 p.m., I think, maybe even later than that. But I wrote the lyrics, and then I recorded a full demo of it with all the instruments and everything, and actually did a little video of it and did that all in one day, and it was pretty cool just to see all that happen, and actually just inspiration from my point of view. Things usually turn out better when they come all at once. And so, try to finish what I started as soon as possible. But that was something that's never happened before or since.
Yeah, that's great. I really like that song. I think the thing that was, I don't know, from my perspective in terms of like working on it and mixing it, I just that was a song where I felt like, and this is a difficult thing to say because it sounds like I'm disparaging our previous work, but that's not what I'm doing. But while we were working on Public Domain, I remember thinking like, okay, this really sounds like something like from the beginning, right? And that's it just, through the whole process of working on that song, I had such belief in it, and I'm going to be honest with you, like, again, not to disparage our previous work, but like we've done other stuff where I just was like, I was just, I was building my studio. I didn't really feel like I had my head around like what it sounded like in here. I didn't know if the mixes were going to sound good. That was the first time where I was just like, man, this really sounds like something. I'm gonna mix this up, and this is gonna be a great song. So maybe that's a personal thing, but for me, it was just like I really felt like we had set our foot into kind of pro territory with that song, which was really cool. I think all of our songs now, going back and listening to all of our songs, I think they're all, they all have, their merit. But at that time in my life, listening to Public Domain, I was like, wow, this is a good song. This really sounds like something. This is going to be a thing.
I also remember that you gave me some coaching on the vocals in terms of what you wanted and what you liked, and I think that was very helpful.
Yeah, I think it's really, I think something that I think bears mention is that through this whole process of creating these songs, we've gotten better at collaborating, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I think that if I could give advice to anyone that's doing what we're doing, which is working remote, trying to create music where remotely, where we don't all live in the same city, I could say that there's just something so invaluable about learning how to collaborate and learning how to communicate with each other, and that a lot of times comes in the form of, you know, kid gloves. You know, maybe you don't want to say to your singer, like, yeah, you're not, you know, you're blowing this, you sound like shit. Like, you don't want to say that, maybe. But maybe you could say to your vocalist, like, hey,
I like this, I don't like that, or something
well,
like that.
yeah, or like maybe, you know, you're going so hard with the aggression that you're, you know, the pitch is suffering. So maybe we can find a happy medium where like the pitch thing is happening, but the aggressive, you know, if the aggression has to be less so that the pitch can be right, you know, maybe we go that route. I don't know, whatever. I just think that, you know, if you are doing what we're doing where you're working remotely, you know, if you can maximize your ability to collaborate, that's going to make for better music, right? Because if you're not doing that, you're gonna end up with music that isn't, I don't even know how to say it, but like the vision of the band isn't going to be realized by the music that you're making because you didn't put it on the table.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll shut up. Sorry, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but I think that we have done a great job of learning how to collaborate. That's all I'm saying.
Adrian, what do you remember about public domain?
Man, you put me on the spot. Brendon had a couple of good points. That was a period where we were probably, you know, throwing files and ideas back and forth, and just the gradual building of it. You know, is this part going to work? Is that part going to work? Yes or no? And then, you know, breaking a few barriers of trying to present those, like Brendon said, do it comfortably without, you know, insulting anybody, or no, I don't like this, or definitely not, or, you know, there were never any issues. Just a matter of building the church, you know, piece by piece. That's what, you know, I like about it, because you know, if it's nothing set in stone this way, if changes need to be made, changes can be made, and it's a lot easier actually, you know, than pulling a full band together and trying to do it all, everyone in the same room. We have I think it's a benefit that we do it this way. Trying to get everybody's schedule together is next to impossible to make something like this happen. So we do it at least, you know, over a couple of months where we can dedicate and devote, you know, our concentration on making something worth spitting on, you know.
So David says, altogether, the internets is a far better way to collaborate than smoke signals.
I agree.
It definitely beats smoke signals. I've never tried smoke signals. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
I guess my take on that is just that, you know, I know what to expect. Like Mike and I will go back and forth on stuff when, you know, the great thing about Adrian is you're gonna get one thing right from Adrian. Like Adrian, like I'll say, hey, you know, here's what I need from you, and then he will send me that, and then that's what it is, right? Like there's no there's no him hawing around about it. Like that song we were talking about a minute ago, what was it? The Some Such Thing. Like I could never have imagined, you know, that you know, David Gilmour asked lead, you know, but I just, you know, I put it in Adrian's court, and what he sent me was this brilliant thing, you know, and I just, that's the thing. So it's like whenever, you know, we're collaborating, it's you know, it's Mike and I might go back and forth on stuff, but you know, whatever Adrian sends me is going to be gold, and I just know that, and that and that's kind of been our workflow, since we kind of figured this out. And so that's been a blast. I don't know how to say it other than that. I just, I
Well, thank you, bro.
Yeah, whatever you send me is always, well, I mean, to date, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be that way in the future. I bet it will be, though. But whatever you send me is usually pure gold. Mike and I might bounce around with ideas, but whatever you send me usually is pretty much.
You guys make it easy. You make it really easy. But while you were just talking, you reminded me of something, and I guess I can't see the live chat for some reason, so I don't know if anybody's there still. But if that other fella is there, David, our pal, it made me think of what you were just saying. The versatility of this band. Brendon mentioned the CBS, or the morning show that you guys just did, the national contest that you do the morning music opener. I forget which one I didn't take part of it, but that's just the versatility of the band. You'd be doing one thing punk, another thing opera, the next thing, and you're trying to do a national news show. But you guys placed like 15th in that in the country, right? That's pretty badass.
Well, we placed 15th in that. I'm making that up. I mean, the thing is that there were 14 finalists, and I was suggesting that we were the 15th.
I
just ran with that.
Yeah.
I think we were competitive, though. I really did.
No, that was a really great thing, Mike. So for all of you listening at home, with what Adrian's talking about, we did we Mike and I put together a video of a cover version of I Can See Clearly Now for this CBS News competition, and we didn't get picked. So there you go.
It was a good exercise, though. Maybe we'll have a live stream on that. It's coming out on the 28th of September.
Yeah, well, the thing is that we did indeed make a video, and so maybe we'll put that out whenever NDAs are not an issue anymore. But yeah, what a fun project. And
well, you guys will always be 15th in my world, man.
Yeah, and we may very well have been. I proposed the idea that we were 15th just because there was 14 people above us, but I don't know, we may have been 115th. But the thing is that we didn't place, but whatever, we tried our best, and I think Mike and I did a pretty good job at coming up with a darn good song, or a darn good version of that song. Moving right along, we have a new song out as of yesterday. Nihilitis.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the agenda here.
Came out yesterday at midnight. Everywhere, you can get it everywhere. Apple, Amazon, YouTube, everywhere.
Yeah, and it's probably up on TikTok if you want to do your your lip sync version of it, in your bikini, like have at it. That's fine. So let's talk about this song, Mike. What was the impetus of the song?
Well, sometimes a song just starts from the title, and I think that was the case here. I actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually got a master's degree in philosophy a few years ago. And my final paper was on nihilism. And I've always been kind of intrigued by it because it's not something that's, you know, you don't say that someone's a nihilist, really. I mean, in terms of philosophy, nobody admits to that, but it is a thing. And I think you see it in a lot of media today, music and movies and TV and everything. And it's just the idea of tearing down the status quo. And what comes next is kind of not a part of that, you know. But the idea, I think, that most people who write about it or speak about it is that the idea of tearing down what exists now is to build something better in the future. And so anyway, that's the philosophy. And it actually started out. I don't know if you guys remember the original version had this chorus that didn't. It was you know, some sort of, you know, flowing harmonized chorus, and it just didn't work. It just didn't fit in with the rest of the song. And so I think what we came up with was a straight ahead punk rock song about tearing down the status quo.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think that the you know, that original version with that chorus that you're talking about, like I explored incorporating that, but I just couldn't really find a good way to do it. You and I had even had conversations about doing it like at the end as this very kind of Smashing Pumpkins kind of ish, kind of a reprise thing, but it just, I don't know, that felt, when the song started to take shape, that started to become kind of not like a focus for me anyway. I think that it would have detracted from the thing. Anyway, everybody, this is the song where we have the breakdown where I do the bass octave thing. So in a minute when we play the song, you can listen to that. Does anybody else have anything to say about it, or should I just roll the tune?
Yeah, I think if my memory is right, Flea played a nihilist in The Big Lebowski,
He did.
and that's all I can say.
Well, that
Oh,
in the, in the Big Lebowski, you know, there's that, you know, when he first goes to the other Lebowski.
They're in a bowling alley, I think.
Well, right,
Yeah.
but when he first goes to the other Lebowski estate, and he runs into Tara Reid, and she is pointing at the guy who, the actor, I can't think of his name, but anyway, she's like,
Bridges.
yeah, he's a nihilist. He doesn't care about anything. And Jeff Bridges says, yeah, well, that must be exhausting. Anyway, yeah, I watch that movie once a month, so don't get me started quoting that. I'm gonna roll this track. Let's see here. I need to mute my microphone and
Say what you want about National Socialism. At least it's an ethos.
all right, I'm gonna mute my mic and I'm gonna roll this track.
gotta tear it all down. We got nothing to lose. We gotta tear it all down. 'Cause it ain't worth nothing at all. We gotta tear it all down. 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 Now! Don't know what you're asking, if you don't know what you want, you're asking for destruction, and it's time to make a start. Tear it all down, tear it all down, tear it all down, tear it all down. Replace it with nothing, replace it with nothing, replace it with nothing, replace it with nothing. Tear it all down, tear it all down, tear it all down. Replace it with nothing. Replace it with nothing. Replace it with nothing. Replace it with nothing.
Okay, so there's that, and I guess if I could recount anything about the recording of this song, I can just say that I worked really hard on the guitar sound on this tune. So I started out with guitar DIs. For those of you watching at home, I started out with guitar DIs, right? So it's just like guitars plugged into a direct box, recorded, and then you run that into you can send it out to an amp, and in the case of Nihilitis, I did run it out to that V3 right there. Or you can run it through a guitar amp sim plugin, whatever. The point is, I spent a long time on the guitars for that song, and I think what I ended up with, honestly, was kind of not that different than what I started out with. What I started out with was just kind of your basic distorted guitar, kind of Marshall-y sound, and then I tried a million different things. And what I came back to was just, a Marshall-y kind of distorted guitar sound. The bass was just your basic, SVT style, semi-distorted bass sound, and I just think it sounds great. I guess the point to what I'm saying is, I worked really hard on this song, and what I arrived at the end was kind of what I started with. So the moral to the story is, if you are, working at home, like if you're doing music production at home, your first idea is probably the best idea, because what you end up with in the end will probably be basically that, even though you went around the mountain. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the production thing.
I want to say one more thing about the breakdown that you were talking about. There's a sort of swelling guitar chord in there that comes in a couple of times, and I was sort of not crazy about that in the beginning, but it kind of grew on me. And then when I heard the versions that came out on Spotify and everything after whatever, who knows what processing they do on it, it sounded even better. I love it now. So, but also I wanted to talk about, I wanted Adrian to talk about the lead, because it's probably the most metal thing that I've heard from him in a while.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'd love to hear him expound on that a little bit.
So as when you're, kind of, my approach, was the section that needed the guitar lead was where the train was already going about, 17, 18 miles an hour, and I'm walking on gravel, trying to find the right place to just grab that sucker at the right time and join in. And it comes in really abrupt, like I just got the train. If it was going any faster and I'd have grabbed it, it would have yanked my arms off and I would have died. But it was just jumping in at the right time, grabbing the handle and pulling my ass up on that rhythm section that was already just jackhammering away, So I wanted it to drop in nicely, like, the tea bag, but while all the train stuff was going on, maybe some of the tea spilled out over the side of the cup, but that's cool because it fit really proper. And that's the best visualization I could give you as to how my approach was. But you just grab the handle and hold on. And I don't know if I copied anybody's style or anything like that, but it felt proper, as fast and hard driving as the rhythm section was. It was just to kind of meteorite into it and leave a little bit of collateral damage and debris, and then just see the ass end of that train leaving as you're sitting there all beat up when it's all over with. That's my take on it.
That's great, and just to everybody watching at home, again, all I can tell you is I'll send Adrian an email saying, hey, here's what I need, and some time will go by, and then I'll get an email with the stuff, and it's fucking gold, like every time. Yeah, I don't.
Adrian, I really like your metaphors, man. We had meteors in there, we had trains, we had tea bags. It's awesome.
Tea bags, oh no.
If I had to, if I, as an owner of a recording studio, I can say that, working with studio players, like it's really important to have a relationship with these people, so you can say like, hey, here's what I want, and then they do that. And I've been really fortunate to work with a bunch of really, really, really stellar players over the years. But I just want to say again, with Adrian, it's like, even though he's not in the room, I tell him what I want, and and that's what I get. Like, I mean, he's so easy to collaborate with, just because everything I get from him is just exactly right. So that well, I guess the thing is, I'm so thankful for that. Working on this Repo Man stuff, it's key. It's key.
I think in our departures, like was said earlier, I think Adrian said, was talking about how all the different styles that we have experimented with. I think it's good to come back to just like straight ahead punk rock, stuff that I love. And I think that we fit right in with that. But I do like the freedom that we've had to kind of go outside the punk rock box and do some other stuff, like Some Such Thing. So yeah. So I just want to talk a little bit about what we got going on. We have a couple of songs that we're kind of working on. So I'm not sure if I think for sure one of those is going to come out this year, maybe two, but it's too early to say, really. 3 songs in a year is Well, yeah, there'll be three songs in a year if we do one more. So that's, I think, pretty much par for the course for us these days. So one of them is a possible Christmas song, and the other one is also another departure that may be like an all acoustic song. So
I really like it. I've been in here working on playing string bass on it, and it's great. It's really cool. Just keep us in mind. Hopefully in another month or so, like, that'll coalesce. I'm really enjoying the acoustic component of it. It's really great. Anyway.
And
did I know you have an upright bass, Brendon? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Did I know you have an upright bass? Did I hear you right?
I do have one. It's actually not in here right now. Let me go get that, and I'll show everybody.
Oh, that's all right. No, that's all right. I believe you.
It would be cool to show it on camera. Hang on.
Yeah, boy, that would make a good session, man.
It's just in the other room here.
That would make a good session, you know.
Yeah.
Acoustic, all acoustic with a upright.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had an upright. I love an upright.
I've been kind of thinking about what to do with the drums. That I told you that drummer came in here, but I didn't get his information. I just know his company, so I don't know if I'll be able to get in touch with him. I don't even know if he's set up for recording. So I know you've been through more drummers than Spinal Tap, so
yeah, we have that Spinal Tap curse thing going.
But I kind of want to do a brushes on the snare drum type thing for that. And
nice.
That may be all we need. I mean, just going with the minimalist sort of view of it. But I forgot, I Can See Clearly Now, and that's coming out on September 28th. So
yeah, I think you guys should. Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. Yeah, definitely plug that song.
One of my dogs was having a problem, and I had to deal with that. But anyway, so I've been working on recording this new song that we've been talking about. I've been working on recording a bass line with this thing, and it's cool. This thing is great. I mean, it's
yeah.
If that's your thing, whatever.
It's yeah,
that's sweet. Can you record on that?
Voices. So
what's that?
I think I walked on somebody there.
No,
you
go ahead.
Record with that?
I don't. Ask me that question again. I'm sorry. I don't know that I'm
with your stand-up bass. I saw what looked like some. You mounted some pickups on there, and you can just like go direct into a recorder with that now, can't you?
Yeah. Well, recording with it. No, I'd rather use a microphone to record it, but for playing live, I have this old Washburn P-bass pickup that I got from a friend of mine, and then there's an old Murray's can here that contains all the electronics, which is basically just a jack, and then there's a tuner, here on the bridge itself. Yeah, it works pretty good. I mean, this bass is it's just your basic, made in China. string bass, but I mean, it sounds fine.
I love it.
It's full of I filled it up with cotton batting, you know, to keep it from feeding back. But yeah, you know, it's fine.
Yeah, I've seen there's a band I like. They're called the Screaming Rebel Angels, and the upright bass player, she puts little foam cutouts of, you know, where the F holes are to stop the feedback, and they just drop right in the F holes. I thought that was awesome when I saw that. But yeah, they're a really good band. I like a lot.
Yeah, the feedback problem is massive with it's basically just a giant microphone. But anyway, anyway, so yeah, so I've been working on the new song. I've been working on recording some acoustic bass for that, and that's pretty cool. As far as the new Christmas song goes, I don't know. That's ongoing, but I feel like I've kind of derailed the live stream. Where are we now with?
No, we were talking about the songs that we have in the works, and I had left out I Can See Clearly Now, which is already done, and that's going to be released on September 28th. So we'll definitely have 3 this year and probably 4. So
Right. So the I Can See Clearly Now, just for those of you watching at home, the I Can See Clearly Now is the song that we did for the CBS. We talked about that earlier. We did a song for CBS. We entered a competition and we didn't place because we sucked. But whatever. The point is that we did that and we made a video for it, and that's coming out on what day, Mike?
September 28th.
There you go. September 28th, that'll be out and you can check it out. It's our cover of I Can See Clearly But Now by Johnny, what is his name?
Nash. Johnny Nash.
Johnny Nash. Yeah. So there you go. Look forward to that. God knows I am.
That David Joshua likes your upright bass.
Yeah, I'm not. I stopped watching the chat.
Yeah, he says sometimes less is more, which is, I guess, what we're doing on the acoustic song. And yeah, I think that's about what we got going on, man. I don't know if there's anything else we need to talk about.
Well, I mean, just another word, while we're on the subject of the acoustic bass, I can just say that the thing about the string bass is that it sounds great if that's the right thing for the song. Oftentimes people try to shoehorn an upright bass into a situation where that's not the right sound, right, for the song. So I just want to, as a great fan of the upright bass, I just want to say, like, if you're thinking that you're gonna do like a black metal band like with an upright bass, yeah, don't do that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, all right.
Adrian, any final words?
It was really fun doing all the recording so far. And as far as response to Brendon's doing metal with the upright bass, I know someone who comes close. Check out The Basement on Facebook. My buddy in Wales in the United Kingdom, Paul DeMarco. They play a lot of not really metal, but harder edge stuff, and their bassist Will, he does It's amazing what you can accomplish with a stand. I mean, check him out, The Basement. You'll, you
Yeah.
you might like him, man. You really might like him.
No, I'll check it out. I just
I mean, they go from Helter Skelter to Jimi Hendrix to I mean modern pop songs from the UK that I'm not really all familiar with, but I mean they play everything, man, from rock to metal and blues, the whole nine yards. And he's just I don't know if he's probably not watching, so I could say this. His bassist name is Will, from what was it, The Simpsons? His hair is like he's like in real life Sideshow Bob, man, and he's so cool looking. His dreads are like down to his chest, and he's just stumping the hell out of that bass, man. Check him out, man. The Basement.
I will. Yeah, that's cool. Love it.
But yeah, pleasure doing this material with you, Mike. I really enjoyed it.
Good deal, guys. Well, I think we're gonna need to do these a little more often, not just every 4 songs that come out, but maybe a little more often, so we can keep y'all up to date on what's going on. But thanks for watching, and whether you're watching live or watching later on, it's been fun.
Yeah, thanks everyone. We'll see you soon. Adios.
Good night. Okay, the stream has stopped and Adrian has left the building.